unveil the things that I got from Guatemala. And to do that, I chose a quote from Zombieland as the theme for my presentation. But for you to understand that quote, you need to watch this.
Get 45% power. Yeah. Come on, break it up. Nice. Doesn't that feel good?
Sometimes Tallahassee's right. You gotta enjoy the little things, even if that means destroying a whole lot of little things.
You gotta enjoy the little things. That's the theme for my presentation by Woody Harrelson interpreting Tallahassee from Zombieland 2009. You will understand the relevance of this by the end of the presentation, so don't worry. For now, I will talk about the highlights of my experience. Guatemala City. I arrived to Guatemala a day early because that's just how I arrange things. And I had the opportunity to pick everyone else up from the airport. And the following day after my arrival, I went to the airport to pick up everyone. And I took this panoramic picture of Guatemala City. In Guatemala, after everyone else arrived, we went to an anthropology museum where we got a preview of Tikal. We saw ceramics and jewelry. We saw a replica to scale of the city of Tikal. And we also saw codices, which are stones, giant stones engraved with symbols or drawings that tell stories. I chose these pictures for Tikal because of their significance. The pyramids that you see are temples 1 and 2. This is temple 1, that's temple 2. Temple 1 is the tomb of the king of Tikal that brought Tikal back to its greatness, or I think to its greatness for the first time, after a period of defeats against other city-states. And temple 2 is just the tomb of his wife. This picture right here, that's the Ceiba tree, it's the tree of life. There's two things about that tree. One, it's a huge tree. That little thing right there, that's me. And the tree goes, will be on display. The second is that, according to Mayan mythology, the Ceiba tree connects Xibalba, which is the underworld, the terrestrial realm, and the skies. That's why it's a tree of life. That's Antigua City, that's where we stayed. That arrow right there is pointing to our homestay, which you can't really see. It was a tiny, humble, lovely place. Everyone there treated us like family. They cooked special meals for Jabin. They got Brandon a cake on his birthday. And they took care of me when I was sick. This is Volcán de Agua, overseeing the city. That picture I took one morning after running with Liam 350 feet high stairs just to get to the peak of the Serra de la Cruz. The soccer pitch. You've heard almost everything about the soccer pitch. What you didn't hear is that when we got to go to the place to rent the tractor, we found out that it was booked for a week. So we couldn't do anything for the first week. We were just stagnant, walking around, watching the other teams and helping them in any way we could. However, we got the tractor and finished on the last day at the last hour. Another cool thing about that is that the manager that rented the tractor to us was surprisingly helpful. They have a 6-hour minimum limit, so if you want to rent a tractor, you can only rent it for 6 hours or more. However, she told us that she wasn't going to enforce that 6-hour minimum on us to show her gratitude for what we were doing for the community. That surprised me because all the projects that we were working on, all the things that Engineering Abroad has done in the past years does not benefit her at all. She lives and works in Antigua City, and the projects are in Puerto Grande, which is like half an hour away from the city. That was really nice. Remember Woody? I don't know if you noticed, but I've been talking about things from largest to smallest. Now I will talk about the greatest of them all, which happened to come from the smallest ones. The last day was the best for me. I didn't engage much with the children throughout the 2 weeks because I was always either working or helping with other things until the last day after we were done with the field. I played with them until, or rather they played with me for about 2 hours until I climbed a tree to escape from them for a while. They provided me with almost a religious experience. They reminded me to appreciate and enjoy the little things. It was unbelievable the way, or how powerful they are. I wish I had taken a picture before this. I had a line of 10 kids waiting for me to carry them a second time, but I was already tired. It was the end of the day. We had just finished the field, and I had been playing with them for 2 hours. And I look up, and I see everyone else scattered across the field, staring at the ground, almost as if they were depressed. So I told the children to go with everyone else and tell them to carry them. Next thing you know, you have everyone with huge smiles, just carrying children like that. I was surprised by how easily they made us happy and how happy they were. They had nothing. They didn't have a floor. They barely had walls. Their ceilings were cardboard. Yet they had everything. They were the happiest children, people I've ever seen. Happier than people I see here, people I've seen in Mexico, Costa Rica, or anywhere else. It was incredible. Lastly, the journey, the work we put in, the hours of raising funds, the sweat, everything gained purpose because I realized that what we did, everything was for them. So, my greatest experience from Guatemala was from a little moment with these little children.
Mm-hmm.